Welcome back to our Moneyball series here on Football Manager 2022. Right, we have got an interesting episode. We have basically gone away and tried to buy all the players that we looked at last episode. So all the players that we looked at and went through the stats and thought they might be looking good. One positive part to this, two of the players that we looked at were actually released by their clubs at the end of the season. Now, either they were released or they chose to leave, but either way, they're available to sign on a free transfer. Now, we've signed, I think, about 5 players so far, so let's get into those players first. Incidentally, Pep Guardiola doesn't like me, and I don't know why. So, our first signing is Ben Brereton Diaz. Now, the first problem with him, he has come deep to get ball. Now, I absolutely detest that trait on a striker. Hate it with a passion. Didn't check properly that he didn't have it. We'll see what happens with that. I'm really not happy with that as a trait, so we'll see how he goes. He'll be unlearning it straight away. As soon as he gets back from his summer holidays, Ben will be straight on the training ground unlearning that trait. So, there we are. Hans van der Bruggen. Now, we looked at him, and he looked really good, didn't he? He had some really good stats, and the reason we liked him is there were a few other players that had similar stats to him, but he played in the Belgian Pro League in an actual decent level, and we weren't sure if we'd get a work permit, although it did say that there would be no issue with it, and there wasn't. He got one. I don't know why, but he got one. So he comes in. We think he could be a box-to-box type midfielder, but he can play as a sitter. He's going to be our probably more defensive midfield player when he plays, but he fit the bill for quite a lot of things. I don't think he's that quick. Left back's not really an option, although it says he can play there. Callum Robinson, now he was a good option because he fit a lot of the stats and he wasn't going to cost much money. He didn't. He only cost us 1.9 million, and he hit a lot of the stats that we look at, and he scored a lot of goals last season in particular. So for a 5'11 player, he was really good in the air. He won a lot of headers, and he can play wide as well. Ola Aina. Now, Ola Aina scored highly across the board, especially on tackling and things like that. So I'm really interested to see how he comes in and does. The reason we're able to get him is Brentford lost the playoff final. So they're going to be back down in the Championship next season. So he's available for transfer. So we've got a bit lucky with just the promotion relegation sequence for us really there. Now, I am so excited about this transfer. Fran Navarro. He was somebody that we looked at that was a proper Moneyball signing. Nobody else was looking at him. Nobody else valued him. And I don't know, he's playing in the Portuguese league. He wasn't looking too great to the unlearned eye, as it were. We looked at him, he had 10 goals and 31, which wasn't amazing. What we'll do here is if we go back, make sure we save the game first, let's go back and look exactly what he had again, just to refresh everybody's mind. Here's Fran Navarro. Now, if I get our stats we're looking at for Premier League players here a second. Stats, right. So anyway, looking at, where's he gone here? Fran Navarro, there he is. So goals, I mean, level of football is applicable here, but we need 12.66, he's got 13. 4 penalties, don't care about that. Goals per 90, 0.38, he's above that. Shots per 90, 2.7, and he's at 3.25. Shot percentage, 51%, we need 51%, he's there. XG, 11.12, we need 10.5. Dribbles per 90, we need 0.90, so he's slightly lower on that. But then aerial challenges per match, we need 11.47. So he's a little lower on that. Head and accuracy, we need 37.66, he's just above that. So you look at him and think that, judging by these stats, and then where's his dribbles per match? So after scouting him, you would hope is a quicker striker that's good dribbling, I would expect. Even though he doesn't have good dribbles per 90, that could be the role that he plays. That's the sort of kind of striker I have in my head of him. 84% pass accuracy. His cross accuracy is quite high. Now, the fact that's even remotely up there, I just think he's kind of striker that's going to be like a Premier League version of Jerry Yates, slightly better and slightly quicker. That's how I sort of see him. He gets in the right positions, he scores, and I just thought, like, if he was an English Championship player, he'd cost us 4 million, and we were able to get him for 800 grand, I think was what we're looking at, 3 to 800 grand. So if we go back now, Navarro, 350 grand. I just had a feeling, because what he was doing fit with our stats, but in the Portuguese Premier League, right, it was still a good standard, and he was hitting our stats still, so I was like, well, why is he worth so little money? Like, if it was, I don't know, the Portuguese 3rd division, 2nd division even, I'd understand it, but it was the Portuguese Premier League, right? And we bought him, and he's now instantly worth 2.5 to 7.6 million. I think we've got one. I think we finally got a Moneyball signing here that's going to work really well. I'm probably going to start him because I want to see him. I think when we look at him, he'll be bang average, like, from what we're thinking in our heads. Like, he's not going to be much better than, he's a good Premier League striker at the start of the game. Like Adam Ida, somebody like that. Like, I don't think he's going to be Adam Ida. He's probably slightly worse, but he might just play really well at the job he's asked to do, right? So we'll see. Isaiah Jones, now he scored really highly for the dribbles per match and lots of things for the wingers. So he comes in for for a pretty decent fee, 3.5 million pounds. But he can also play attacking wing back as well. He can play as an attacking wing back for us. So it could be that he comes in as a winger this season, and then next season we might look at his stats and go, okay, you're not really good enough to be our winger, but you could be an attacking right back. So we could have him for a couple of years here, Isaiah Jones, and obviously homegrown as well. So that's not a bad signing for us. One of the better Championship players we could bring up with us to the Premier League. And this one I'm excited about Martin Paero. Now, a lot of you might have played with him before and had him with Middlesbrough or on your save. I've actually never seen him before. Honestly, I swear I've never seen his stats before, even in playing myself. So I have no idea how good he's going to be, but he scored really highly on our stats, and he was playing in the Championship, so it fit the bill, right? We'd have to factor in standard football that was already there. So we will see how he gets on coming into us this season. And that is it so far. We've managed to bring in. Now, I haven't even looked at anybody else yet that wasn't on that original list. So on that original list as well that we had, and we all looked at last episode, there is Josh Bowler, who scored again really highly in the Championship and for Blackpool. And he was scoring really highly for assists and for chances created. I can't remember which one it was. Was it dribbles per 90? That's not that high. There was a couple that he was pretty good at, though. So, and on a free transfer, like, why not? He was already on a list, so that's great. And the other one was Will Vaux. Now, if I remember rightly, he also scored quite highly on his defensive aspects of the game when we looked at the stats, like as a CDM. So he's available on a free transfer. So why not? What a signing that would be. Two great players that are going to give us some good output on a free transfer. They're going to cost us absolutely nothing. So we're definitely going to be entertaining that. The only player in this sort of top section of players that I'd be interested in, I'm not interested in him at all, so he can just go. I'm not going to remove him because I want to keep him on the shortlist, but Ryan Yates, those three there, I'm interested in still because they were the top of the top in their categories, especially these two, well, all three of them really. So those are like my big money signings that I probably would rather have spent on the Ben Britton now, whatever his name is, Diaz, because of that fucking trait. So we need a centre-back still, starting centre-back, I think, and we need two left-backs because they recalled the Movita, they let us sign him, but he won't get a work permit. So some of the other players that we put in offers for last episode that you're wondering what happened to them, yeah, they didn't join because they didn't get work permit. They didn't join because they didn't get work permits. That's the only reason why. Edgerson Loss is a new gen, which I don't know how good he is, but I've signed him on a free for next year. He comes. They rejected his work permit, but we can just ask for another one until that time comes around. Yeah, I think a few of these all got their work permits rejected. Philip Tietz definitely got his work permit rejected. A few of them did. So the next thing to look at for us is got to be a left back. We have to sign a left back. But this is where the stats have gone right. Well, I don't know if I've done anything here. I'll save it anyway, just in case. Here we are in Moneyball Season 2. Right at the end of Season 2. So now we need to go back and look for left back. What do we want? Let's get wing back stats up for the Premier League and for the Championship, because it could be either, right? This one's always got a few extra ones tagged in here because it can just fit them in the squad overview. So yeah, wing back here then. So we're looking at dribbles per 90 to be 3.80. So I mean, that's not great. Those are a bit high. What's the appearances on these players here? Or is it there? Let's play here then. Casper Denor. Yeah, okay. He's got 3.55 dribbles per 90. We need 3.80, but it's close. Cross completion, we need 20. He's got 23. Chances created, we need 0.36. He's a bit lower on that. Assists per 90, 0.19. He's not great on that either. I don't care about aerials per 90, but header 1, 78. He's a bit low on that. Tackle win, we need 78. He's got 84. So that's quite good. He, across the board, scores pretty highly. I don't think I averaged out the wing-back fouls when I did this. Actually, need to look at this Championship one. I've got fouls as 238. That must have been all three combined, not divided by 3. Right. Casper De Noort fits the bill. He has very good stats across the board. There's a couple that slightly lower, but it's okay. And it's the Belgian Pro League, so I don't know what I'm doing here. It's the wrong save file. So I'm going to have to write this down, I guess, with like all pen and paper here, you know? Join the 21st century here. Come on, Jack. Let's get the notepad out. Obviously, now that we've left it a little bit, the one issue we've got is that they could have already joined other clubs. Concerning, it seems like that's the only real player we've got. I think the best thing to do, if you're going to do this as well, is have 2 notepads open. Have one where when you go back and you look for players, to then take and look in your current save file, and then the other way around. So it might be that you find the player while you're searching in the 2nd of July, where we currently are, and you think, oh, that's a good player. and it'll be like on a free transfer, but like, okay, now I need to go back and see how good they were. So it might be a case of actually just doing both, having a couple of notepads open so you can flip between the two quite easy, something like that. Right, Joel Anderson, what do we reckon here, lads? And lasses. Right, 33 starts. Pretty good. Dribbles per match is not great. Got to be honest. Cross completion is good. Chances created is extremely good. Like, all we're looking for in chances created is 0.36 or 0.15 in the Premier League. I'm looking at the Championship, by the way, for these. I should look at the Premier League if they're not in the Championship. If they're in a top league, I need to look at the Premier League. I have to flip that round there. So, in fact, no, I'm not, because I'll mess me up. Premier League, stay there. So, chances created per 90. If we look at the Premier League, we're looking at 0.15, 1.16. Assists per 90, we're looking at 0.13 is above that as well. He scores above nearly everything. That is a brilliant signing there. Joel Anderson, hopefully he hasn't gone anywhere either. You know what, I've just noticed that it's a huge difference because dribbles per 90 in the Premier League, we're only looking for 1.59. In the Championship, it was 3.80. That's a big difference, right? So like Theo here, I'm looking at this like it's low, but it's actually not. If it's a top league that he plays in, Theo plays in the Belgian second division. Okay, that's not great. Another player here, Liart Paquarado. His dribbles per 90 is 1.59. Well, we need 1.59. He's got above that. 24% cross completion we're looking for. He's at 22. It's close. Chance completion, we need 0.15, way above. Assists per 90, 0.13. It's really close. Headers on ratio, we need 74. It's not great. Tackle on ratio, we need 81. He's got 89. Like, he fits the bill. Fouls, 30. It's a bit high for fouls. Probably got poor decisions, or he's probably got poor concentration or something, I would expect. After this transfer window and this season's done as well, I'm gonna go back and add more stats to these bills. Like, this is like, it started off with like the bare minimum is what you need for the roles. It's evolved into like a decent layer of information for each role, and now we might even go like a step further and try and find some other ones to throw in. That's like the next level, I think, for us, because I'd like to get a bit more information on some of these. Maribal, I know how good he is, but that's nowhere near good enough. I can't buy him on stats. Like, he needs, for the Championship, he needs to be having 3.80 dribbles per 90. No chance. Right, I'm going to call that as it is. So we've got 5 options. Panzo is the only one that I know, and he's bottom of my list because I know him, and also it's more fun going with some of these other players in obscure leagues. So yeah, we'll go with Panzo as the last option, but we need 2 out of the 5 actually, so we'll see. We'll keep us here. Now you're going to see why I'm not too bothered about showing this. There aren't too many stats you can actually use in the scouting section anyway, so yeah, it's a lot harder to really nail down, and it's a lot less specialist for us. It's more about who's saving shots and who doesn't concede much, and then plays at a half decent level. That's pretty much the only thing that goes behind it. Team conceded per 90, that could be down to the team you're playing in. Clean sheets is, it's a little bit of an indicator. Save ratio is something that I am going to look at. Let's look at that actually and sort by. Let's add appearances into this as well. The first player that's come up is Lumley. Now, he's the first goalkeeper that's come up as a starting goalkeeper. He is the goalkeeper for Middlesbrough, and he seems to have 84% save percentage, which is the highest of any starting goalkeeper, because we haven't come across another starting goalkeeper yet. Team conceded per 90 is below 1. That's really good. So, like, in 20 clean sheets, that's really good. That's actually really, really good. Just going to narrow it down a little bit here. We're just going to search for centre-backs that have 2 interceptions or more per match, win 80% of the tackles, 8% of the headers. The values are slightly different for Premier League centre-back for us, but it's a good enough benchmark just to start off at. Odian Ismaili here, he fits the bill for a lot of things. Well, he's got his 280%, obviously, for tackles, 1 headers. He's played 20 games, interceptions is 2. Even the other ones, like, I'm finding this pretty hard to believe, but he wins 100% of his tackles in 23 starts. That's sensational. Pass completion is good, doesn't clear it that often. He must be unbelievable, or does nothing. I don't know which one it is. I guess we'll find out. But what a signing that would be. So he goes on the list. What I'm doing right now is I'm basically going through to these leagues and just trying out different ones, going as at least in like Serie A or something. On the Portuguese league here, Diogo Queiroz. 1% isn't that far off. Interceptions is good. Tackles per game's okay. Tackle 1 ratio, it needs to be 83, and it is 83. Like, he just about fits the bill for us, which is good. Same here for Patrick William, and his interceptions are even higher. Then even up here, like, we've got Gazino, Niamsi, and Christophe Hirel. They both look class. I mean, he's a bit old maybe, but even I'm going to put Gazino down because he looks quite good as well. That's an unbelievable find. This is where your knowledge at your football club is so essential, because for these players to appear in this list, you have to have the knowledge. And I think we've got a couple of Portuguese staff members, so it's really important you get your knowledge up as quick as you can and get as many staff from different countries as you can in, and then also make sure you start sending your scouts out to start scouting those regions to start getting their knowledge up. Looking for wingers, we've got to the Dutch league here, and there's 4 players right here who look pretty good across the board. I mean, even like XG, or well, a couple of them are up there for XG. But I've struggled to get anybody that's too close to what we've actually got on the list. Dribbles per 90 is very good. I think every single one of those is above it, except for Nunnally. Chances created, we're looking for 0.16. So a couple of those are close, but he's way over. So they all have like 1 or 2 little things they're not quite there on, but they're pretty close. So I'm just going to do all 4 of these. What I'll do at the end of this transfer window is I'll go away and sign a load of scouts for all these different countries, so that next summer we'll have all the South American countries as well being very well populated and all that stuff as well, because hopefully we'll be an established Premier League team and we're able to get those kind of players. So right now we're still going off of what basically the staff already have as knowledge. Okay, let's go do it. We've got enough players there. We've got left backs, goalkeepers, centre backs and wingers. So we've got 4 sets of players there. Now we'll go back to the other main save and start trying to buy them. First one was Casper de Norton. I think he's at the same club there, which is good for us. He is sweet. Now, we have no idea how good he's going to be. Who wants him? Oh, Osasuna want him. Right. Trying for something like that for him. Because Joel Anderson's not a left back, that's the problem. He's a right back. Try and get a transfer on him, see how good he is. I completely forgot to double check that they were left footed. They don't just be able to play there. The Theo here, I guess we'll see how good he is. Oh, they don't think he's going to get a work permit. That's not good. And this was like the most exciting one for me. I've never seen this guy before at all. Like the others, some of the other players, you've sort of seen their name around or something at some point, but I don't think I've ever seen this guy's name before. There's our Albanian centre back from the Serie A. Oh, they think he'll let him come to us. Oh, Brentford want him. Sweet. That means he's probably done some good scouting there, because it looks like some half decent clubs want him. So that could be really good for us. I always get excited when I see another club wants him. It's not just a complete and utter random signing. That's good. So this is centre backs now we're looking at. So I don't know about the rest of these. I don't know about him. Diogo Quiros played the whole season last season though in the Portuguese league. Not worth a lot of money. Who wants him? Wolves. Okay. Oh, are we on to something? Really good team here. Also a colossal failure. Well, I suppose I need to just put some of these on the shortlist for now because we can't sign all of them. Oh, they're both from the same club. We've got 2 centre backs from Famalicão. I'm gonna put them on the shortlist. Okay, so just spent a bit of time there going through all those players and getting them all back and getting all offers out on them, or at least put them on the shortlist. So we'll carry on, click through here a little bit. We'll see if we can get any of them in and see if we can get any players out. Like Ryan Yates, somebody else I'd like to bring in because he scored really highly on the stats last year. So I'd like to bring him in, but it's a lot of money. So I'm going to wait on that a little bit, but he's somebody I would like to get. I've negotiated around the budgets a little bit, so we've got a bit more wages, but we'll see. I could do with some of these players getting going. I've offered a lot of these players out. Clubs say they want them, and they don't put an offer in. That's really frustrating. I don't understand why that happens in the game. It really is annoying. Simon Jackson's our youngster, who apparently is really good, so I don't know. I haven't got any stats to go with him, though, because he's in under 18s last year, so we'll see. But yeah, I'll click through for a bit here, and I'll see you in a second then. We'll come back for, hopefully, when some signings happen later in July. Okay, so what I thought I would do here is give you an update on where we're at, and we actually bought quite a few players, let you know sort of what's left, and probably end the episode there, and then we'll do next episode, we'll do any conclusions to anything we've missed, and the first game of the season, and then probably the back end of the transfer window after that. So we'll do an update now. The next episode we'll do anything that's happened between now and the first game, which is only a few weeks away, which I'll let you know if there's any players that we're already going for. Then we'll do the game, and then we'll do pretty much the end of the transfer window, because it'll still be like 3 weeks, but we'll cover all of it then, I think, and try and look for some players. And that's what we'll probably do, I think. It's just a better way of doing it, I think, because it's been quite a long period here that I've gone through, and there's a lot to catch up on So first thing is Joe Lumley is the goalkeeper, comes in for £1.5 million. I don't know if I showed this a second ago. It's been quite a while between the recordings here, so if I did, well, apologies for showing it again. But yeah, £1.5 million. Joe Lumley comes in as our goalkeeper. Josh Bowler comes in on a free transfer. That is a brilliant signing. Now, he's left-footed. I need a left-back. Oh, great pace. Oh, he can't. He plays right-back, though. What? Okay, Josh Bowler's getting converted to being a left-back for us. Because we need a left-back. Everybody that I've gone for so far at left-back has failed the work permit. It's been so frustrating. I'm going to go back in for the 2 players again later in the window and offer them loads of wages, see if that sort of messes with it. But Bowler's probably going to get converted to left-back because I've already got quite a few wingers. Adrian Ismajli, now he comes in, our Moneyball centre-back from the Serie A. We got him for 800 grand. Empoli, but for 4.7 million a couple of years ago. So I'm really happy that we're able to get him. And wow, that could be an excellent signing. I have no idea what he's like. Never seen him before in FM. There's Mercal. Now, I got an offer accepted for him at least once before, and the work permit failed. He got accepted this time. £1.5 million is going to cost us. Now, I'm pretty sure I brought him in, though, as a central midfielder. But looking at his stats, as a left-back, he probably could go and play there as an emergency for us, but he's more like a defensive midfielder that can play left-back. So, I mean, I don't know how quick he is, really. So that's part of the issue. It says fair amount of pace. That's not great. So Diogo Queiroz was the other centre-back. Now, those 2 centre-backs coming in together means that Frankie Kent will leave. So, because we now have 4. So, he comes in for £2.2 million. Already worth a lot of money. Other clubs wanted him. Again, that could be another really good signing for us at centre-back. Only 6'1", it's only concern. But he does well in the air, apparently, according to the stats. So, coaching report early. Scouting report early is good. Now, I'm surprised how well we've done so far. Like, according to this, he's the best of all of them. So, that's just incredible. Like, we've been able to do that well. Based purely off stats. It was just based purely off stats and what division they were playing, and we were factoring that in as well in our transfers. But Denor, I was delighted to get him and then realised he's not a left back. He's a good right back. He'll be a top class right back for us, but I've now got him and Ola Aina for the same position. They're both great, so I suppose it gives us good strength and depth. And lastly, Che Nunley. We actually managed to get Che Nunley in. Now, I've seen his name a lot. I think if it's the player I'm thinking of, he is quite fast, but he's one of those players that I've just always seen, and I can't remember him. I have a feeling, though, he's just one of those pacey wingers in that league that doesn't do an awful lot else. But we'll find out. He'll be like Owen Dale, but slightly better. So, yeah, if you look at actual wingers here, we've got those 2. Zaya Jones, that's the other one I was thinking of. There's 3. And Bowler could be 4, but also one of these could go and play wide. Probably Callum Robinson's the only one I would let go and play wide. There's options. But anyway, if you look at the squad then, what do we still need? We still need, I think, one more top winger would be great. If Bowler has to go left back, which he will be. So I'd say a top level winger is essential. We still need. I'd still like to get a proper left back in. Goalkeepers are fine. That's done. Centre back is done. Right back is done. So we're looking at, yes, our winger, left back. A proper top level central midfielder might be there as well. Because Paero will probably play as our box to boxer. But then we've got 2 other players to play as CDM. I don't know. Maybe not. Just winger, fullback, and then probably striker. That's it, 3 players. And it's not because we haven't got enough. We do. I probably would send somebody like Admiral out on loan, but I just want another top level player to come in. We've still got a bit of money. Like with the 50% of the next year, we could probably easily slot that in to those 3 there. So we've got enough money to do it. Do we have any transfers out? No. Frankie Kent's still got out on loan yet, so that'll be another. We get 90% of his wages, so about 8 grand another added to that. So we've got over 100 grand in wages when that transfer goes through. So we'll see how things go, but that's looking pretty good. I know for a fact that if I was in this situation playing the game normally, this team would be much better than it is. But it's just brilliant. I love this series so much. All I can say is thank you to every single person that's either liked, subscribed, commented, viewed, anything you've done. The series has gone absolutely off the charts. I'm absolutely loving it. It's one of the most fun things that I've ever done with Foot Manager and I've ever seen in Foot Manager. It's just incredible. I'm so pleased that all of you are here with me to see it through and to participate in it. I absolutely love getting all the comments. I try to reply to every single one. If I don't reply to it, it isn't because I've chosen not to. Sometimes they don't appear and I end up going on my channel comments a few days after and they appear there. So I will reply to every single comment. Give me your thoughts about absolutely anything, whether it's to do with the series, the channel, football in general, Foot Manager in general, absolutely anything. But yeah, all I can say to everybody is thank you so much for all the support on the channel and on this series in particular. I can't wait to bring you more of this, and I can't wait for us to start in the Premier League. It's getting late here today, and I can't wait to get up tomorrow and to play a game in the Premier League and just see how far off we are, because if we got there and we compete, I'm going to be so excited about this team, because this is a proper Moneyball team. Like, I don't think anybody would have put something like this kind of squad together to try and stay in the Premier League, but that's what we've got. We've put this together. And also, though, on the flip side, I'm also really anticipate if we get smashed in that first game, we've still got time and money to sort it. With the 6 million, with the 7 million, 100 grand a week in wages. So that's why I'm anticipating it so much, because I just want to quickly see what happens, and then we can react and adjust to it afterwards. Have Leicester home first game of the season, Norwich away. That is a really good fixture list. If you can win that game, you could potentially go on a little unbeaten run. You might. If I had a good team, I would love this fixture list, because you should be in good form going into that game. That means then you should get a result there, and you've got them at home after. Oh, wow, what a great fixture list. Oh, I'm excited about this. Yeah, so anyway, that's going to be next episode. Next episode will be the 20th of August. We'll go through any transfers that we've not done to this point. Now the 3 positions we're looking at. And if I do bring in those 3 positions, one of the strikers will be gone. Frankie Kent is leaving. Apart from that is going to be the squad. And we'll just go through these last little few weeks here, pre-season. We'll come back for the Leicester game. We'll play that. After we play that, I'm not sure what I'll do, whether I will just skip a week. It's a bit different to a normal series. A normal series, you wouldn't have any episodes in here. That'd be the first episode. Then we'd go through all the transfer activity in this one episode. That's not how this series works, though, right? Because part of this series is the Moneyball aspect to it and the player recruitment and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we'll come back for that. The transfers that if we have missed any, play that game. And I might just keep showing the match in a condensed version. I'll only show real key highlights. And we'll just keep going through the transfers all the way through to the end of the window. So it'll be including all 3 of these matches. So probably won't include the cup game, actually. So probably do those 2 matches and just keep clicking through the weeks, see what we can get. But that's going to do the episode. That's it. Thank you very much for watching our first pre-season and transfer window, Moneyball transfer window in the Premier League. Barnsley Football Club are a Premier League club, and hopefully they're going to be a Premier League club next season. Thanks for watching. See you next time.